she falls, and all we see is her face going like this, up and down, like, and where's everyone dying?
Right?
I want to see people die.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Jerem.
And here's our thoughts on
A Quiet Place, Day 1.
It's been a long time since we've gone to a movie on a Friday night. For some reason, we always go on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot what it was like to be surrounded by people. But it was great.
Yeah, it's so strange. People say nobody goes to movie theaters anymore, but people actually do.
And it was great for this movie. I thought the atmosphere, because of the silence of this movie, the quiet moments hit you harder, I noticed. Because everyone in the theater is dead silent. Mm-hmm. You're not touching your popcorn.
I touched my popcorn.
It was, but you could hear
it. Yeah. Whoops. But we're gonna go through each scene of the movie: the beginning, the middle, the ending. All of our thoughts. Did we enjoy it? Welcome to the ride. And if you watched the movie, let us know in the comments what you thought of it. So first, the movie starts with New York making a lot of noise. It was noisy New York. And I thought, wow, that's such a great opening. Noisy New York. It's noisy. This is cool. And then the words on the screen said, basically like, New York is really noisy.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Okay, you kind of ruined the moment there. Didn't need the words. Yeah. Didn't need the explanation.
Yeah, you just needed to show it.
That's how the movie opens up. New York is noisy. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. We didn't know that. But then it cuts to a hospital.
A hospice, yeah.
Yeah, hospice. And I don't know the main character's name.
Me neither.
Okay. They're quiet the whole movie, so they don't really mention it.
Yeah. And the one other dude who's the main character, she asks him what his name is, and he says it so quietly, I could not tell what his name was.
I was thinking Henry.
I heard Henry as well.
But I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking Henry before for some reason. Huh. But I don't know if they said it.
I heard Henry as well, and then I finally realized it was Eric.
It's Eric?
I think so.
What? I wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, main character.
The letter at the end. She probably wrote
yes, that's where I finally realized at the end.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of the first whole scene before any monsters? Anyone came? Them being at the hospice, poetry, going to the theater, wanting pizza, all that.
I honestly thought there was too much intro, too much speaking going on. I wish there was more showing instead of telling.
Yeah.
Instead of her talking about how much she hated things so much.
Right.
It would have been easy to just like see it in her eyes more. And I think I would have connected with the characters more if they would have talked less, which is interesting.
No, that's accurate. I thought the only line of dialogue that was needed was as long as we get pizza afterwards. Because that was important for later. But everything else kind of felt I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I just wanted the movie to start.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was excited for things to go down because the movie poster has that picture of the main characters with a bunch of people around them.
Right.
And I told you before we walked in, I was like, look at that movie poster. I hope there's like a scene where the monsters just come through and just rip everyone apart, basically, which is what I was hoping for. But the first scene doesn't give us that.
No.
The first scene gives us
them crash
landing, and then dust. So you don't see anything that's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And then she just kind of walks off the bus, I think. And then I remember it being kind of quiet. But am I right in that?
Well, she was not making any noise.
Right, she wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was quiet at first all around her, I felt like. And then
kind of like ringing in her ears.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah. But I mean, I liked it. I liked watching the meteors fall. Though I don't know if that'd be everybody's reaction with them being so close. Would have been finding shelter. I don't know. Those look dangerous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be expecting monsters. don't want to get hit by a meteor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the first scene that when they chose to do the dust, she's looking around, can't see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty effective, and it was something different.
Right.
And it was a little bit more, I guess, realistic if something did crash land like that.
Yeah.
But I was still missing that in my heart. Like, oh, what about the big ripping through everyone?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Right. Big explosions and running and screaming. And,
yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting more of a run scene, not a I'm kind of wandering, hitting people scene. Yeah.
Which I guess if that did happen, it would be a little bit more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, missed opportunity.
Yeah. But I mean, I still enjoyed it. It wasn't the worst. It was good. After that, I think what happened after that? She got hit and was unconscious.
Yeah, which is also kind of disappointing.
Right. I was watching that and I was like, oh, that's kind of an easy out.
Yeah, when she just goes unconscious,
Right.
it's just like
you're not making any sound, I guess.
For a movie about being the first thing that called Day One, we want to see
the whole day.
Like, yeah, what happens on that day,
right.
And then not someone just blacking out and then waking up in a hiding place.
Right. I thought that was kind of cheap.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay though. She wakes up in the theater. I think. Yeah, the theater that they were just in.
Mm-hmm.
She gets up. She tries to scream or cough. They cough. The family she saw in the theater earlier cover her mouth. She freaks out at first, obviously, until she realizes she needs to be quiet. And I thought the scene was really cool when she started walking out and saw everybody, and everyone was dead silent, right? Which at first I was like, wow, everybody figured this out quick. Right.
You have to.
Right, you have to. I was like, at first I thought that was kind of unrealistic, but I mean, I feel like that is something you would figure out quick.
Mm-hmm.
You make a sound, they get you.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I thought it was really cool because it immediately like puts you in that spot of, oh shoot, we have to be quiet or we're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, so they're all hiding in this place, and they run up the stairs to the top of the building to see the announcement that the helicopters have made. That they've said, get off the bridges, because they explode all the bridges, right, so that they can potentially isolate these monsters because they can't swim, which they also figured out pretty quickly.
Yeah, they did.
Which there was one part that I really liked during that scene, which was when the father of that family, which is probably my favorite part of the movie.
I think I agree.
All right, we'll go through. We'll find out some of the other good scenes as well. Right. But this scene was awesome because the dad is trying to keep someone silent because they're freaking out about,
we're all gonna die.
Exactly, like that. We're all gonna die. So the dad's trying to keep him quiet, and he looks at his son. His son's there, but he needs to keep this guy quiet. He looks at his son, and then he just like kills the guy.
Yeah, just like that.
Like kills him.
I think he breaks his neck or something.
And I think that was probably one of the greatest moments because it really goes along with the theme of Day One. Because lots of these apocalypse movies, you see people later on, and someone will say, "You don't know what these people have become."
Right.
You know.
Right.
But you don't see the process. But that was just a moment of the process happening, of someone needing to survive, and he killed someone for it.
Yep.
So,
and not even just him. I think that's why the son was there. He looked at his son and realized, I gotta shut this guy up or my son is dead. I don't think he was necessarily thinking of himself.
Yeah.
And then he looked back and the son was gone.
Yeah.
Right? Which also hit me pretty hard. I was like, I mean, I can't imagine watching my dad kill someone in front of me. Right.
So I thought that was going to be a main theme of the movie, you know, about what are people going to change into.
Like human tensions.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens.
That's what I thought too.
And then he never shows up again.
Right.
So it's kind of really disappointing.
We didn't get any of that. I expected, it ended up just being the two main characters and a cat.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, I hated the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halfway through, I was like, why isn't it a dog?
Right.
Or like, it would make it just that much better
Yeah.
if it was
Or
at
like,
least a dog.
I guess it's more realistic that a cat can be quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you don't see a dog the whole movie. But the cat
Sad.
had somehow also figured it out and never makes a sound.
The cat is the main character.
Right. And somehow the cat is like bringing people together, and like how did the cat go see this guy in the water, look at him, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna follow you."
Yeah. So, that guy who wakes up, is the other main actor in the movie, Eric. So, Eric, that's 20, 30 minutes into the film where he's introduced.
Yeah.
And instead of using the characters from the beginning at the hospice where she had a tension with about, I need to go get pizza and you're just a nurse, like those are some lines that, can build up towards character development, relationship development. And then that guy also just dies. And then a random new character enters.
So I had mixed feelings about it. The guy died.
Yes, the guy.
And he died by I don't know what went off. What went off? Some generator?
Yeah,
backup generator?
electric generator.
Right, something like that. That went off, so noise went to go shut it off so that it wouldn't get eaten. They were fine, shut it off. Then he ripped his shirt off the edge. Right?
Yeah.
And we all sat there and like waiting, and then suddenly whoosh, gone.
Yeah.
Right? So I liked it for the, oh my goodness, I just watched my friend die from like just ripping his shirt. But I hated it for that could have been way bigger of a moment if it was later in the movie or someone new. Yeah.
Or at least if it had an effect on her throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like at least
forgot it.
If she had some thought like, oh, if only I had been a better friend to this guy.
Right.
But she doesn't have much change throughout the whole movie. She hates life at the beginning. She hates life at the end.
Right.
So
until the very, very end.
But not
really, because then she wants to die.
Yeah, so not even. It's like there's no change in this character at all.
That's very true.
Which was my enormous gripe about this movie.
Right.
Like people can hate life if they want to, but at least show some
growth
development in one direction or the other. Like maybe they loved life and now at the end of the movie they hate it.
Right.
Or they hate it and then they see some hope and gonna live every day as if
it's a new day.
Yeah, something like that. But no,
new opportunity.
She doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty sad. I didn't mind the new character. I thought he was good.
He's a pretty good actor.
I agree. I think he was great. It just was annoying that he couldn't have been the hospice guy.
Yeah. Basically, his character was, I freak out sometimes.
Right. I think he's having like small panic attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's all his character
really
is.
Change either.
Yeah.
He just got to live and by her. Sacrificing herself, but
yeah, like
she just didn't want to come, I guess.
In the second Quiet Place, you have the little boy who gets really scared and really nervous, and his mom is always telling him, "You're gonna have to protect me," and you can do it. And he's always like, can't do it. But there's a moment in the second one where he chooses against that and really stands up and saves people.
Right. There's some change.
Yeah. So that was lacking.
Yeah.
In this movie.
That's true. That was lacking, the character development. What I didn't think was lacking was the suspense aspect of the movie, the monster aspect. Did you think that was lacking?
I thought it was lacking only because the only things that made the monsters come were like their mistakes.
That's true. Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense, and even that's true in the originals.
Right.
But at least they have a goal to get somewhere, and then they mess up with the goal. So in this one, Eric needs to go get some medicine So that should be the time when, like, he messes up.
Right.
Does he?
No. He just follows a cat.
Yeah, he saves the cat.
And then he gets really close to one. I actually liked this shot. When he was climbing I don't know what he was climbing. The cat was on there for some reason. Another reason why I hate the cat. Stupid cat that's somehow alive. But then he makes some super small noise that I think in A Quiet Place 1 and 2, you're dead. Because he's so close to the monster.
Right. But there was lots of noise going on around him.
That's true. That's true. But I did like the close-up shot of showing the inside of their face. I don't know what it is, but the whole inside is just an ear, basically. Really good ear. So I liked that.
That one is in the second one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that. And sorry.
Yeah, probably wasn't even as good as that one because maybe it was just hard to tell in the theater, but it just seemed a little bit blurrier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows? But I thought it was a great shot for someone who hasn't never seen that shot.
Yeah, it's been used.
Oh, darn. Okay, well, that's kind of disappointing.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
But kind of like what you said with it only happened because of their mistakes. Also, it only happened because they were doing things they didn't need to do. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Where were they going half the movie?
Well, they wanted to get pizza.
Right.
And then it ended up not being that hard.
Right.
So then...
And then they were going to the boat, but you didn't really know that they wanted to get to the boat.
Yeah. We needed, like, a plan. They needed to, like... Somebody needed to take a piece of paper and draw it. Like, first, we need to go here. Then, we need to go here. Then, we need to go here.
Yeah.
And as you're going along, oh, we made 1 and 2. This is going great. And then, like...
Oh, no.
The third one's messing up.
Yeah.
What did we learn from number 1 and 2 that we can apply to number 3?
Right.
You know?
Right.
But it doesn't follow a stream of events at all. It's just random mess ups, random trips, and
very random. And I didn't know that they even wanted to get to a boat. I knew that the boat existed, but it didn't seem. They never really talked about it. I mean, obviously they can't talk, but they didn't communicate in any way that you would know that. The only moment where I knew for sure that they were trying to get to the boat was when they were doing it.
Yeah.
By the cars.
Yeah.
Right? Because even when they stood out on the balcony and looked out and saw the boat, even then you think it'd be a lot more urgent. I don't know.
Yeah, so they had the scene where she was walking against the crowd because everyone else was going towards the boats, and then she turned around. I thought she was going to go find her friends and tell them, hey, everyone's going to this boat.
Right.
So I thought she was being heroic, but no, she wasn't. She just was wanting to go get pizza. So, yeah. And which would have been fine if we connected more with that goal, or if they had drawn it out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, if we understood it earlier.
Or if somebody fought against it, right?
Yeah.
Because Eric could have even fought against it, like,
no, you don't
need to be saved. And then she's like, no, I need to remember my father and his pizza. And he's like, oh. But instead he just asks her, why do you want to get pizza? Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Let's make it a date. Or not a date.
Yeah.
Let's make it cool.
Basically.
Which I loved his character, and I loved that, but I couldn't.
But we need more conflict.
I'm sorry, live.
We need more character conflict instead of just
you should
going
just
along.
Be okay with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned the scene where she's walking backwards from the crowd. Is that more of the scene you were expecting?
No. I was also very disappointed with that scene because there's this whole crowd. I was like, this is the moment we get to see everyone.
That's what I thought too. Because you mentioned it before. I thought it was gonna happen right there.
And then no, we don't. She falls, and all we see is her face going like this, up and down, like. And where's everyone dying?
Right.
I want to see people die.
I needed a drone shot view.
Yeah.
All of them dropping down.
Yeah.
And going quick, doing monster things. I want to see more of the monster and what they can do.
Yeah, and just like throwing against the building.
Yeah.
Something. Missed opportunity.
Not just a thrown car.
Yeah.
I don't think the monster cares about the car. They actually want to eat them.
They just hate noise, but
I guess.
yeah. Just more. Just so could have been so much more death.
Yeah. But it was, yeah. Anyways, let's get to the end of it.
Okay.
Ending being, I guess, post pizza.
Well, let's talk about the pizza scene.
Okay.
What did you think about that fun scene?
It was good. I enjoyed it. I still didn't have an attachment to it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it didn't feel important to me. And it didn't feel important enough to her yet, or I didn't understand the importance of it enough yet to find it worth it to be there.
Yeah, I agree. The one good thing I liked about it was Eric being awesome,
right?
Acting, because he plays in Stranger Things as Billy, with the long hair, and there's a scene in Stranger Things 4 when he's playing D&D with the boys, and he stands on top of the table and goes like this. You know?
Oh man, that's where I recognized him from. What?
Yeah. So then
I saw him when he popped out of the water. I was like, I recognize this face, so I know he's not gonna die. But I don't know who he is.
Yeah. So when he was doing all that acting, like showing the magic tricks and going like this, I was like,
he's done it all
nice.
before.
It's very Billy.
It's on point.
And
that's not his name's not Billy in Stranger Things, is it?
Oh,
because Billy's the hot dude.
Oh, I think it's Billy.
It is Billy.
It's either Billy or the other name of
I don't know.
of her. Oh yeah, it's not Billy.
Yeah.
It's not Billy. Billy is Dear Billy, her brother.
Right. Anyways, not important.
But it's the other name.
Yeah.
So, oh, sorry about that. I'm disappointed in myself.
But he is great, and he was casted perfectly for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved the scene specifically, but I still didn't find it worth it. I didn't care enough about it.
Mm-hmm. We missed the connecting to the characters.
Right. And then after that too. Well, let's get into the car. I'm saying car scene. I guess getting to the boat scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did you think?
Well, I thought it was interesting that the monsters ran towards the water and didn't try to go in the water, because in the second one, they go in the water and like try to swim and can't swim. They're like, because I thought that the monsters couldn't see, but some points in this movie it felt like the monsters could somewhat see, or at least I guess they had learned that there was water there and they couldn't go any further. But I don't know about that. It seemed like they should have just been like swimming in the water, trying to
and then dying.
Yeah,
but yeah, even earlier in the movie when they're swimming away in like the subway, it tries. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tries and it dies. So that's what I expected too when I saw that first scene. Or cut to that, just not even trying.
Why did that monster die?
I think it just can't swim and it drowns.
But there was like a little flash of light, so I thought.
Oh, I thought it just. That's just the flashlight. I thought.
Oh. All right.
I don't know. I thought it just died because it was in water.
Cool.
I don't know.
There was one moment where the main character is walking by herself, and then she runs into two kids under the fountain.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh no, not the kids. Like, it kind of raised the stakes a little bit.
Right.
I was like, this is exciting.
Right. She's gonna have to take care of them.
Right. It's raising the stakes. And then she's like, go over that. Go that way. Go that way.
Guess what? She sent them to their death.
And and then never see those kids again.
Care about the kids.
Stakes gone.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. She literally sent them to the death because that whole crowd
go that way.
Pretty much the whole crowd gonna die. Yeah. Man, back to that scene real quick. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to walk in a crowd. Like, there's no way after you know you have to be silent that walking in a crowd is gonna totally work. Anyways. But back to the car scene. I did not know that she didn't want to get on the boat until he got on the boat or was in the water and looked back at her.
Oh yeah. Like she didn't even want to try.
Yeah, she didn't even want to try.
Which would have been the character development that we needed.
Right.
For her to continue, because she had the poem about they said 3 to 6 months. It's been 6 months, you know. So, it's there was a possibility of her learning to live as much as she can, because maybe she does have that 6 months instead of the 3.
Exactly.
That's the optimist way to look at it.
Yeah, but there wasn't any change. She just decided, no, I want to die.
Yeah.
But I guess it was like, I want to die on my own terms.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Was not. I rolled my eyes when she pulled the plug and made the noise. Like,
Right.
Stupid.
The ending scene was, the ending last few seconds was cool.
I didn't like it at all.
Not cool because of the moment, but cool because the monster like whoosh, and then it cuts.
It's so stupid.
I thought that was cool, but the moment was the reason was dumb. I hated the reason.
I had a lot of eye rolls. I was like, during the movie, like, I wish I was more scared.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had less eye rolls. And there was missed opportunities.
Yes.
That's my rating.
That's your rating?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a jump scare that scared other people. Did it scare you?
I remember getting scared. I don't remember the moment now.
During the movie?
I remember getting scared during the movie.
Okay. I don't think I had any fear whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
So that's just
I just got jump
sad.
Scared, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah, there was one jump scare, which is weird. Like, why do you need a jump scare in these movies?
Yeah.
These are thriller character movies,
right?
Not really horror movies,
right?
And then, so it felt like just like the creators were like, we need a jump scare, we need a jump scare, and it's just like
it felt
doesn't work. Fake.
They thought it was a horror movie, not necessarily because of the movie, because of all the trailers before.
Yeah, that too.
Like, this is not the same audience.
Yeah. I think the audience, at least me, who goes to see Quiet Place movies, also goes to see superhero movies, and also goes to see Star Wars.
No, I agree.
It's like,
I don't go to A Quiet Place for a horror movie.
Yeah, it's like action adventure,
right?
More so of the crowd, I think.
Exactly.
And not just. I mean, I did want more blood and gore, but
yeah. I mean, my rating is messily good in a messy way.
Okay, so you liked it.
I liked it, but it was messy, and so my heart wasn't in it. But I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I couldn't connect with the characters, random events, and I wish that we had more change and more payoffs, and I wish instead of them constantly saying no to the things that we want, like, oh, you want this character to be in this movie? We're going to set him up. He's dead. Oh, you want these kids to be in this movie? They're gone. Okay.
And dead.
You want this character to learn their lesson? She doesn't. So that's how I felt about it.
At the beginning, I want to die. At the end, I want to die.
Sad.
Yep. The bright spot was whoever Eric is, whoever is casted.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
I like Quiet Place 2 the best, then Quiet Place 1, and then Quiet Place Day 1, unfortunately. But it was still fun to go, and I enjoyed my time, and I enjoyed talking about it.
Me too.
So.
And if I need to see A Quiet Place 2, put it in the comments below.
It's the best one, so I'll put it in the comments below.
Okay.
You need to watch it, Kenny.
I'll watch it.
So everybody like that comment.
Okay. Yeah, and like and subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. You may have noticed throughout this video, I've edited in little pop-ups that say subscribe to remind you guys every 5 minutes or so. So please do so and join us on our journey of Voltage Bros talking about movies. And see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye. Yeah, I was just saying to Kenny, like, we're recording this. It was hard to talk about the movie, the scene by scene, because everything's so random.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't, like you said, there wasn't a plan in their mind, so it was hard to follow in our mind.
It was just random events. So I was like, but when we did the Inside Out one, I could remember what comes next, what comes
they had a
next.
plan. We need to get to the
Yeah.
core memory, not core memory, whatever it is, personality.
Yeah.
Who she is.
So
Ka-chow.